What's up, everyone? This is the one and only Tasman Matthes, episode number 31 on 2024. I appreciate everyone being part of our support since the rest of 2023. We are growing bit by bit. I appreciate everyone that supported our channel. We are on Facebook, it's Matthes on the podcast. On Instagram, it's Matthes on the podcast. On TikTok, it's Matthes on the podcast. Yeah, we're all over, man. This is 2024. We're moving faces, we're moving spaces. Yeah, not forgetting our sponsors, Ice Body. They supply ice cubes, water, purified, not water, just water, purified water. They are based at 72 on Clearpen Avenue, Equestria, Pretoria. To find more about them, you can send an email at sales@icebody.co.za or visit their website at www.icebody.co.za if you need water or if you need ice cube. Today is a very special day for me. I've been postponing this podcast, this interview for ages. I don't know it's me or him that was running away. But anyway, here we are. I've got Nam on the building. What's up, man?
Good day, everyone.
How is the Saturday going so far?
It was rain,
Ish.
so it's a slow Saturday. It's a little cold. What else can I say?
Okay. So normally what do you do on Saturdays? What do you normally do on Saturday? A normal Saturday if you don't have anything planned?
The way I live my life, you don't really know. I just keep my days open, specifically those specific sites. I just keep them open, try to connect with a friend or two. I don't know, just bounce around as much as I can. But idea is don't sign up for a marathon. It's probably not message on a Saturday.
You're referring to Two Oceans or Comrade Marathon or
Neither,
a lifestyle?
man. Look, at the end of the day, Saturday is sort of my Sunday where I just rest a lot, reflect on what the week went by, see what went right, what went wrong, what went wrong, what did you learn from it, what went right, how do you make it even better. So it's my reflection day. So often my Saturdays are really filled with nothing but quietness here and there.
Okay. So I get what you mean. So with the name Nam, where the names come from? Where it's coming from? Maybe because me I'm confused or kinamba, kinomoro, kinamba. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm trying to be corrected.
Okay, so everybody knows. Okay, so here's the thing. So where I'm from, there's a culture, there's a basketball culture. And the basketball culture, often obviously you want to be competitive, right? And the culture of basketball, it's a very competitive sport, it's very rapid. I was playing basketball, I think 2013, right, at a local court. And I kept thinking of what rap name would sound really good to me. So the phrase kept coming out, Numo. I was like, that
It's
sounds
like rock.
Right.
Rock. When I
Yeah.
say nam.
Yeah. Shout out to Ricky Rick with the
Oh,
feature.
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky Rick
That's
with
my
the feature
boy,
goes
man.
on Raga.
Yeah,
It was
that's my
crazy.
boy, man.
But anyway, so 2013 I
May
had
soul rest in peace, man.
Yes, yeah, R.I.P. to him. So with Numo, it was like, okay, I had this, it's a fun thing to say over and over again. So I thought, okay, that's cool. But people don't believe when I say this. I didn't think of Numo and then think, well, I didn't know what Numo stood for before I kept coming with it. I came up with the meaning for Numo, I think a year or two afterwards, and I was like, people always believe that the songs I write and I create was stolen from someone.
Oh.
I was like,
You've
that
been
is-
accused.
Not really accused, it's just like the general impression that everyone always sends me before time was time. I'd send them, let's say, a song I wrote. They're like, who's this? I was like, it's me. They're like, no way. I was like, no, it's really me. I wrote this song.
Okay. Before we get to the song, okay, let's say someone is watching this podcast, you don't know who you are.
Right.
Like in brief, who you are,
Right.
what you do, where you come from, where you're born, just to break it down. Just to break the ice.
Sounds like you want me to read up the entire Wikipedia page of me or something. I swear.
No, I'm like someone who's watching this podcast, you don't know you. Just to make it brief so that you
Right.
can understand who you are.
Right, I'm Karabo Bruce-Lequan.
Okay.
From Rustenburg, born and raised in
Where in
Rustenburg. South side of Rustenburg. Born and raised there. Home is actually Mafikeng, in the retrospect of where my parents are coming from.
Oh, okay.
I've been a musician for the longest time, and the depth of it is that I'm more of a rapper than much, and Numo stands for never underestimate my originality.
Oh,
I've
okay.
been
Now I know.
trying my best to try to slip into the industry that is not necessarily failing or dying, but is in limbo at the moment. and I just punctuate a lot of my rap influences on rock. People knows about me, but I started writing more rock and pop songs when I was a kid, and then I only translated to rap 15 years ago as of September this year.
So you start rapping from primary school or high school?
I started rapping from the 8th grade. I had a freestyle I did 1 September. This was 09. So 09 September.
You're in high school?
I was in high school. I did a freestyle. I realized that it's a lot easier to rap than just to sing. And as you get older, obviously, as well, there's a lot more things you want to compact into what you're saying. No song can go for 10 minutes and have an entire, like a long list of things for you to talk about. So part of me felt like it was just about compartmentalizing things a lot better with rap than with singing. Because singing, you need to focus on inflection, what you're saying, how you're doing it,
melody.
And you need to have all that. But with rap is in your face. It's
like an MC.
Right.
You can just go with the flow, with the beat.
Right.
How you feel at that
Whereas
moment.
with, like, for example, I kind of picture rap as something more towards live stage theater
live band performance.
than an actual recorded episode of whatever favorite show you like. So that transition from rap to singing is not that it's necessarily a transition, but it's more of like I adopted rap as the central skill set in my music.
So I'm trying to understand about rap. What inspired you, or where do you find this inch, like, you know what, I'm going this kind of genre? Maybe it should be amapiano or bakanga or maskandi or barking makompo. But you decided rap. Or the specific artist that inspired you, know what, I'm going for this kind of music.
It's funny because when you talk about inspirations in my rap, when I started, it's very New York based. So you're looking at the obvious. For me, New York based musicians that really got me thinking of really taking this rap thing a lot further, you start off with 50 Cent. Literally, you start with 50 Cent. And you're like, why him? It's like, no, because of how he went along with it. Everybody knows In the Club by 50 Cent.
You can't go wrong with 50.
Everybody knows In the Club by 50 Cent. I knew In the Club. And when you look at, like I said, when you start off with my influence, you start with 50 Cent. And then you kind of have a longer list as you go. So it's 50 when I first started listening to music, way long before I even did my first freestyle. And then I went along with Jay-Z over Kanye West at the beginning. Now, Kanye's stuff is very aesthetic, while Jay-Z becomes more and more technical. So as you get older and older and older and older, you start to realize how these guys doing it. So in the studyings of rap, I listened to a lot of Drake at the beginning. So my first ever flow was Drake's flow. Everybody knows this. Everybody can see that it was my first ever flow. I can rap to any Drake song, whatever. It's because my first flow was all of Drake's older works. I'm talking about the Comeback Season, Room for Improvement. I've listened to all of those mixtapes when I was still growing up, and I think I adopted this for, let's say 3 years into the whole rap thing, because at first when you try to freestyle, you don't really know where you're expounding to. A lot of the writing got improved because 10 years ago, actually, in 2014, I was exposed to more musicians. So for that, I want to thank Kagiso Pala, because he would tell me, yo, dude, come and listen to this, listen to that. So I got more exposed to the people. So when you look at me as a musician, there's a lot that I borrow from. I borrow from Vince Staples when it comes to packaging songs. Vince Staples' songs are like some at times maybe 2 minutes, under 3 minutes long, but he has said so much, and there's nothing wrong with the song.
In 2 minutes?
In 2 minutes, nothing wrong with the song. I used to listen to most of his stuff, and I remember that was my founding phase. When you talk about numbers and identity, you look at someone who borrows a lot, someone who invents himself on a consistent basis. So often, like I said, inspirations very vary, but a lot of the West Coast influences are not the old heads in the West Coast. I don't listen to a lot of Tupac. I also don't listen to a lot of Biggie either. I don't really, but it's
Kanye
not
West.
my biggest. Funny enough, it's Southern.
Southern, yeah.
I'm starting to get
J.
more.
Cole, you listen to J. Cole?
I listen to Cole.
I'm a J. Cole fan.
I listen to Cole, but the thing.
I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan.
The thing with Cole and Kendrick Lamar is extremely smart because he's experienced those things. Whereas me, I'm as smart, but I can't really rap about things I've never really experienced.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Right.
So I want to get locally. Is not anyone that's push you on like.
I was about to get to that now.
From Rustenburg and your parents are from Mafikeng. You know, when you talk about Mafikeng, we think of Double HP, we think of Momuli, we think of Tuksinganga. we think of Skulichana, we think of CASSPER. You know, the list is endless.
Here's the common misconception people have about me, and I'm saying this very peacefully. So, most of my influences with South African musicians started with the Les, right?
The Les.
That's right. The Les with his group Joseph.
Leslie, oh
Right.
yes.
So what happens is you have the Les doing these songs that we can sing along to and they clean. And then you had someone, we all know who he is, he's a legend, may his soul also rest in peace. When Keenan dropped Alter Ego, the whole floor kept quiet. So I was exposed to Keenan by Katejo. Really great for
Nah, follow me with what's the song? Is the second Make It Big? Oh, that is JR.
That's
It's
JR.
not in the song.
No, it's not on the song.
There's a song that I love with Keenan, man.
So
We Run This City. Yeah, it's not Run This City. I think it's not
Run
This
Josie,
City. We Run
Godly,
Josie.
right?
Yes,
So-
we Run Josie.
this is the funniest thing. I don't like jumping into hype. So obviously here's what happened with how I felt about AKA. When I started listening to AKA 5, listened to AKA's first project, and it's a bit of a long story with AKA, but I'll get to it now. I'm a huge fan of AKA, always been a huge fan of AKA. We started off with Alter Ego, right? And then when Levels dropped, the hype around Levels and everything that kind of threw me off a bit, right? Because I want someone who is very technical, like I said. I couldn't really relate to a lot of the guys that people relate to because the songs hit too many charts for me to really relate to. So then when Levels dropped, I really put too much attention to it, but I ended up listening to it a couple of years later. I followed up the Touch My Blood rollout completely.
And then how do you feel with this passing? How do you feel? Because as you say, it inspired you a lot in your music.
It's
How do you
complicated. It's very, for me, it's very complicated. Because it once again swells out to the body of work he left us with was so, like, okay, here's the thing. Since the pandemic, we've been losing a lot of influential people.
By the way, you know, it was shot in a public area, bruh.
I don't wanna I don't really look. Here's the thing. When a man's life is taken, everything changes.
It's
You
a
feel
feel for
me?
me, man. Hey, this guy's talk a lot.
And maybe
This is a feel for me.
and maybe
While he's still talking, hey,
and
I'm
maybe,
thirsty, guys.
And maybe in retrospect, when you talk about someone like AKA, you know, you need to remember that this person passed on in the worst tragic ways, right? At first.
Yes,
Secondly, the body of work he left us with, not only was it personal, but it's one of those records that I, to this day, like, I vibed to it when it came out, vibed to it again, and I knew where I was that night that it happened. And
I was about to ask where you were when you had the news.
I was just at my crib. I was just chilling. So obviously the leaks or the pictures or whatever broke down before.
Yeah, and
the
social
actual
media is very
statement and all
powerful,
that.
bro.
It's more dangerous than it is powerful. Because you only say it's powerful because it reaches a lot of people.
Yes,
What is it
yes.
you're saying to people that becomes
It's
more
very, very
dangerous?
sensitive, yeah.
So for me, I knew where I was, and obviously, when you're in, I'm not in the music industry as much, but when you're in generally the media industry and the people you know and stuff, they can tell you what happens before you get much out of it. And yet I felt out of place, I felt numb, because gospel stage would then pass on 2-3 months later, and that's weird for me, right? Like, you get yourself in
Do
these
you feel,
spots.
do you feel safe to go to Durban or KZN after this? AKA
You can't blame it
and
on-
everything that
look,
happened in KZN
you
with
can't-
with the killing, with the political thing is.
You can't really blame it on the location. Look, every place has good people, every place has bad people,
Oh,
and
okay, I
every
get it.
place in
Yes,
general
yes.
is just going to be a place. It's about how you move and what is it that you want from that place. For the means for me to go to some areas of the country, there are a lot of things I need to tick off the box. So I don't just roam around. So yeah.
I wanted to ask you, this rap music thing that you are into. Did you go to school about it, or did you went to study something related to that kind of music, or there's something that's backing up? Because remember, some artists, or they will say they're just rappers or singers, but they don't have a backup formal education stuff. Did you have anything related to that, or it just rap?
So this is the argument that I had with my parents before coming to the great,
I hope they're watching now. They'll know the
the
truth.
great city of. You know, we had this conversation a long time ago. I said to my parents, look, and this was also inspired by some of the stuff I saw. But it's funny how the things that inspired me for what I did came afterwards and not during the time. So I said something very, very important. I said, look, there's a lot of opinions that anyone can give. I can give an opinion today, anyone else can give an opinion, and that's scary. But what validates my opinion? I don't take rap as a money machine. I take rap as...
It's a lifestyle?
No.
It's a career, it's a movement?
It's a responsibility.
Oh,
it's a really deep responsibility because you have a fan base, and whatever your fan base believes, they will believe, no matter how weird or out of touch it is. And some people will defend you to the point where they're willing to throw hands, right? So for me, I explained this politely to my parents that, look, I have this music thing that I'm doing, but I need to know how to speak to people. So I took up journalism. And I finished. I did journalism.
Oh, that's
and
great, man.
It's funny because I remember what Shake Straight Out of
I didn't finish it. That's what I'm saying, congratulations.
Yeah.
I didn't finish my
It was not an easy feat to do. But with what happened was, I remember Ice Cube, I don't know if...
I know Ice Cube very well.
Right, I don't know if it was actually an actual thing that happened, but I saw Straight Outta Compton, and there's a line in the movie where people are questioning a rapper on why are they making a song called, and I quote, F the police. And then he explained that I'm a journalist.
Yeah.
Right, he said I'm a journalist, I need to go out and on. For example, now because I'm from Rustenburg, the mine is getting stuck and all of that. That's something you gotta talk about. You gotta talk about it.
Yeah, what I mean.
You need to be able to have conversations about deep things because at the end of the day, not everybody is. So I had to, for my
you need to
football
talk
training.
about the Rupert.
I don't want to get
The
into.
Stellenbosch.
I don't want to get into all of that. I don't want to get into the schematics of it. I get into how did it affect you.
No, not in a political way or in a music way, you know.
No, I wouldn't. Look, here's the thing. My eyes see what my eyes need to see, and what I'm explaining to you is what my eyes need to see. And I can't deteriorate or question another person's perspective, but I can give you mine.
Okay, your own opinion on the fact that the
keyword being perspective, because all of my music is about me, so it's my perspective. It's got nothing to do with opinions. For me, it's like, what do you think about this or that? And it's weird because then you make it a political thing, then you make it a social thing when it's actually a personal thing. So yeah.
Look, I wanted to ask you now, how do you feel? You're from Northwest. CASSPER is from Northwest. You look up into Canaan. And Canaan and CASSPER, according to social media, I don't have a proof. I'm talking to social media. They were like fighting one another. How do you feel look up into AKA and Wale from the Northwest not look up into CASSPER?
It's not, I don't take the negatives into it. Look, I'll give you an example. Kaz, and I know Kaz can really remember this because if I were to go back to my X account and search, I know I responded to him. Kaz once tweeted about his frustrations, and I told him nicely that, look, dude, you're inspiring a lot of people. This was almost 10 years ago, and then he liked it.
And Kaz and Boys, they're from the same hood.
I wouldn't
know.
The same
street.
I wouldn't really.
Because Boys once told me that he knows CASSPER's mother, and they used to go to the same church. I don't know if they're the same street or so.
Look, Mafikeng, as much as it's a very big place, also a very small place.
And Mafikeng, they know each other, ne?
Yeah, but like I said again, I'm more of a Rustenburg native because my sound,
I get what you
everything,
mean. Okay.
Is based on what those guys from Rustenburg did. All my producers, all my long-term producers are from Rustenburg, and the soulful sounds of Sia and incredible.
Is there any Rustenburg artist that you follow or you know of?
Blaze, I know Blaze. I haven't met Blaze yet. Blaze
or Black Glasses, Blaze.
I think it's
what
Blaze.
What it is? What
Blaze and I don't know if Blaze and I really went to the same high school, Granville, but I think I should know Blaze.
I mean, I was still cool with the sound. It sounds cool, and we still have time on the recording. Oh, okay, cool. We can continue.
Blaze, I look up to Blaze a lot. It's funny because I've never really met Blaze. I've never really met a lot of these guys that I really look up to at times. I obviously everyone knows that I know that one guy with the dreadlocks in that one show.
Yeah, man. You've been doing this. It's almost 13 years, right? Or it's 10 years?
15 with the rap, probably longer with the songwriting and generally music.
And then who else did you write for?
I haven't written for people in the industry just yet. I just wrote a lot of songs.
For yourself?
Not just for myself necessarily, just deep expressions of my perspective. So, all types of songs have been written. And right now, because I'm working on a project, I'm writing a lot more songs than I have in the past years.
And then where you want to take your music into? Like what you're writing and voicing, where do you want to take it to?
I just want it to be something that betters people's lives and saves people's lives. There's a lot of things that people go through just do not describe describe it or how to feel about it. And when you bring art into someone's face, it's a lot easier for them to cope with it. It could be depression, it could be anxiety, it could be a lot of things. But there's also good things that can also help people, reestablish. It could be falling in love again, and all these other things are just amazing. Or even finding someone you thought you lost forever. So that's where I'm gonna take my music to.
So are you planning to drop an EP or an album or a mixtape?
I did the mixtape thing. I'm currently working on a project.
Which project are you working on? Do you mind telling us?
I'll
or
tell
it's
you
still
more.
on the pipeline?
Oh no! This is something that I've already started recording for. I'm just trying to make sure that everything's in order because a lot of the features on the project kind of need a lot of clarity on my end. So I'm working on love, tomfoolery, and the power of friendship. It's a project that I've been working on for a bit now, and there's a lot of themes, but the title basically explains to you what you can expect. There's a lot of tomfoolery in the project, a lot of light-hearted stuff. I don't cuss in my music, which is very important. But generally, though, it's a love story, and it's gonna take some time to really be finished. Because right now you're doing recordings, and then maybe you're not happy with some of those recordings, and then re-record. And maybe sometimes you want to go back, and there's just a lot that you're gonna go through. So it comes exhaustive, but it's a nice process to go through. The rollout probably gonna start in the next coming months, and it's gonna be very fun.
Yo, it was good to having you. And okay, let's say there's someone out there is watching this podcast. You want to follow your music or you want to follow your career. Where can they find you on the socials? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? On YouTube? Are you on X? But I'm used to Twitter now. They call it
You
X.
can still call it Twitter. I think it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, let's say my viewers watching
Alright,
Mathezonairpodcast. How can they find you and find your music? Whether you're on SoundCloud or YouTube and stuff.
Alright, so here's how it goes. I have a lot of handles. I'm guessing that you'll plug them all in along the way. On my Instagram, it's Mr. Okay, well, let's start with Instagram because I think everyone probably has Instagram. It's Mr. Forever, as in MISTER, Forever, Mr. Forever.
Okay.
On my X account is Kid. Actually, no, not my X. My Facebook is Karabo Rustenburg. And then on my X account, it's KIDD MC King. So it's Kid King. Kid with an extra D.
Are you on SoundCloud?
I am on SoundCloud, but my SoundCloud is not going to have my most ambitious work.
You're not active on SoundCloud.
Like I said, in some retrospect, SoundCloud is best for rollouts and not necessarily
I get what you mean.
the actual projects. Because I have my own website. My website is housing all of my music, all of my other work as well. And we're just trying to evolve it as more as time goes by. So my website is theplatinumwave.com.
No, okay.
And then when the project...
And it wasn't a podcast. It's a
I
podcast.
do have a
You just sent the
podcast.
link and then I listened to it.
Right, yeah, I have my
What
own
was happening
podcast. No, it's called The Earful Experience. I started off with my great friend, my brother, Itumetse Franz Rakobani. We've had the podcast since 2020. We're still going strong. We just release episodes on a monthly basis because we just have a lot to do, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So the website
I
covers a
cannot
lot
do
of the stuff. The website does have my YouTube as well. So
Oh,
alternatively,
okay,
you can go to my
okay.
website.
No, we're gonna plug it
Right.
on when we drop this episode on Tuesday.
That's
you know?
no problem.
Yeah,
But the
we're gonna
idea
plug
of
it
me
on
is
as
that
well.
I'm just trying to be very self-sufficient. So you won't if you really want to get a hold of me best, check out my team's social media. It's Rebel Music with the Facebook. It's Rebel Music ZA with the X, and it's Rebel Music with IG. But we don't really find ourselves active on IG.
No, okay, I get it.
Because I'm working on this project. Once the
Yeah, I
project's
understand.
done,
Yeah, no.
the rollout's
You know what we're
gonna
gonna
be
do? We're
crazy,
gonna
so,
drop
yeah.
everything on our YouTube channel, and then if people that they wanna follow you, they can check out. Because I believe there are people that they love your music, people that want to find out what you're talking about.
Right.
They're gonna check you in. My brother, thank you very much for coming through. We've been
not-
postponing this for how
Do
long
not
now?
ever postpone on me again.
It was good. Let's call it a rap, man. This is the one and only Chessman Mathezo. We appreciate everyone who come through. Boom! We're out.